Welcome to episode 4 of our Let's Play Masterwork Dwarf Fortress playthrough. I'm Arumba, thanks for tuning in. Where we last left off, we had just downloaded the pack update for SoundSense. Hopefully that's completed for you. Mine has. And so I've reloaded the program. One of the very first things I'm going to do is just turn the volume down quite a bit because I want to make sure that you can still hear me while I'm talking. The music's great and the sound effects are good. I just need to make sure you can hear me. This is in the logarithmic scale, so if you drop it down by 10, it's going to reduce your volume by a lot. I'm going down by 20, really keep it kind of quiet. I want it in the background, but I don't want it to be overpowering. So we're pretty much ready to fire up the game, so let's go ahead and load up Dwarf Fortress. You're not going to hear anything at the very beginning, but what we're going to do is go in and we do want to design new world with advanced parameters. You can generate a world using the create new world option, but Meph, the game creator, or not game creator, I should be more clear, Meph, the mod maker, has included some of these fantastic, easy to generate pre-made worlds that you can play on. I'm going to be playing first on the plains biome because I want to just have some fun with volcanoes. There's a lot of volcanoes in the plains, and so we'll let that generate. It's only going to run for about 200, 250 years. Should go pretty quick. You can probably just barely hear the music in the background. It might be a little bit too quiet for this episode, but I'll fine-tune it for when we actually start playing the game. So what we're looking at here, if you've never played Dwarf Fortress before, is the world map. And we can see over here these are mountains. These are just more mountains. That's part of a dwarf civilization. That is a well, which is just kind of a interesting feature of the graphics pack. Sometimes they use wells in place of other things. These are roads. That's some sort of a village. These little red things that look like bear traps are actually volcanoes. Those look like armor stands, but they're actually something else. This is water. This is ocean. It's like that one meme with the Matrix. After looking at it for a while, I don't even see the code anymore. You just see a world. So this looks like it's going to be acceptable. It's a pre-made world, so it should generate right away. I'm going to press enter to accept. This music would normally be rocking pretty solid, but I've got it nicely turned down. So what we'll do in this episode then is probably not a lot of gameplay. What I'm planning on doing is just picking an embark location, showing you how to go through some of the menus to kind of choose what you want to do. So let's go ahead and start playing. I've just generated the Blessed Sarah world. So let's go to Dwarf Fortress. We want to play in Fortress mode. And then from here, we are on the Embark selection screen. Now, I will say, the very first time you start playing this game, do not be overwhelmed by the game controls. It's predominantly keyboard-based. Now, with the Masterwork mod, thank goodness, DF Hack has added a lot of extra mouse functionality to the game, which I'll demonstrate as soon as we get into the game itself. But just be prepared to use your keyboard a lot more than you may be used to. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to actually down here at the bottom where it says find desired locations, we're going to take advantage of that. Press F. Now I'm going to specify I want a 5x5 zone. Looking up in the top right corner now. I want to have yes fluxstone, no aquifer, and I don't really care too much about the metal, but sure, let's go ahead and say we want some metals, and then let's click enter. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through the entire map, every single section that it can, and see if it can find somewhere on here those specific settings. So far, it's found very few, mostly because of that fluxstone requirement. Now I can press escape and we can browse up here, and you can see these flashing greens let you know that these match your criteria. So unfortunately it's only finding things up here that are kind of in the water, and I'm actually going to research. So let's find desired location again, and let's take fluxstone off because I think fluxstone is going to be pretty much everywhere. We'll search again, we'll find a lot more. In fact, probably every single zone except for the mountains will come back as a positive. Again, the pre-made worlds are also pretty generous when it comes to metals. And if you're new to the game, or even if you're more experienced with the game, you might want to play on this map mode just so that you have access to all of the new materials that he's added to the game, and you can really enjoy it. Yep, so now try not to have a seizure here while this game is flashing everywhere. But yes, these are all areas that have the have what we're looking for. I'm actually going to press F again to stop it from doing that because it does get kind of annoying. But alright, so let's just select one of these here. I'm going to go ahead and select this volcano. Again, we're playing Blessed Plains, so it's going to be pretty flat. You can see here that this is a warm area, sparse trees, moderate vegetation, surroundings are serene, which is a good zone. There's a stream here. We're not going to embark on the stream. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can fit the stream in. Really, I just want that volcano. Sure. How about we do that? Get a little bit of stream and the volcano on the left side of the map. So yep, so we've got the stream. We've got the Gilded Fires, which is our volcano, that little red dot right there. Also, you can see here, these three screens are all showing us the same thing. It's just an expanded view. So this is the whole world. This is the region, so it's a zoomed in version right around here. And then this is the local of that one dot. That one dot looks like this. It's a 16 by 16 square, and we're going to embark on a 5 by 5 zone of the region. So that's acceptable to me. Has some clay, very deep soil, shallow metals, deep metals. We'll go ahead and embark here by pressing E. And then here's where you can select some of the pre-made embark profiles. What we're going to do is prepare for the journey carefully. And I am actually going to do something that I think many people are going to be surprised by. I'm not going to give any of my starting 7 dwarves any skills at all. And here's why. I'm going to show you, when we get to the Dwarf Therapist episode, how to establish roles and how to use the Dwarf Therapist to automatically assign labors based on not just skill level, but also their preference for that labor. You'll see what I mean in a few episodes, or in an episode or so. So we're actually going to just press Tab to go over the items instead of just looking at the dwarves. And we're going to go through and just going to show you how to get some items. First thing I'm going to do is just clear it, because it comes with a little bit of everything, and I want to go through one by one and show you why I'm picking what I'm picking. Alright, so we got a clear slate, clean slate. We get 1,516 points. So we're going to start adding items by first pressing N for new. And then we've got this interface where we can see all the different items that are available. So first things first, let's start with meat. We want to take one of every single type of meat, just one, because each of these is going to end up in its own barrel. This gives us the most possible bang for our buck versus just taking 20 meat, for instance. Like, I could bump this up to 20 meat, but then it's going to just come in a couple barrels, where if I do it the way I've just done it, I'm going to get, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 barrels. We're going to do the same thing for fish. However, fish are going to be combined if they're the same gender, or if they're the same species. So if I take 2 genders, they'll still be in one barrel, so we'll just take one of each species. So fish, and we want the blind fish, and we want cave crab, and same thing for eggs. So we're going to take any kind of egg that sounds edible. Lark sounds edible, finch is edible, beak dog, sure, dragons, ooh, fancy. Notice how it just says over here 2p, that means 2 points. So they're very inexpensive, and I'm essentially buying barrels for, well, almost nothing. Just two points. Where a barrel itself, if you just bought a barrel, would be 10 points. And so I'm going to go through and just grab up as many of these as I can without spending too much time on it. Swallows, sure, crane hawk, parakeet, go to the bottom of the list, cardinal. I'd eat a cardinal. Would you eat a cardinal? Sure, why not? And that's probably about enough. I don't really spend any more time on it. I'm going to do the same thing with some plants, just because I want to have a few plants on hand so that I can convert them into alcohol as soon as we start. And we'll take a few drinks as well. However, drinks is a little bit different. Yes, we would get a separate barrel for each drink, but when you embark, barrels can only hold 5 units of alcohol. So I'm actually going to take 6 of each one of these alcohols so that I get 2 barrels per type of alcohol that I take. There we go. And next up, we do want to take some weapons. Now I'm going to actually type here so that I can sort this list. So I'm just going to search for copper battle pick. And we're going to take 3 of these. Even though we're not going to have any people who are assigned as miners, we are going to assign them as miners right away. I'm going to do the same thing for... I will take a couple axes just because... you know, they're not that expensive, and I can always melt them later if I don't want them later. What else do we want? Might as well take 1 anvil. You don't really need it in this mod, but it's an old habit. Old habits die hard. Now, I noticed that this is a sparse area for wood, so we will take some wood logs, just because they're very inexpensive, only 3 points, and it saves us a lot of hauling time, so we'll actually take a lot. I also want to bring a little bit of flux stone, just so that I don't have to worry about, you know, on the off chance we don't get any flux stone at all. I always like to take just a little bit of marble. And what else do we want? I generally I don't like to bring much. I mean, I think it's more of a challenge if you don't, you know, have too much stuff. All right, how about we take just milk and... yeah, we'll take some of that milk too. Take 1 of each unit of milk. And I think there was one other thing I'd like to take, gypsum. We want some gypsum plaster, just in case anybody gets injured and we don't have access to gypsum stone. We'll bump the milk up quite a bit because it's easy to convert into cheese. Good way to get a bunch of food early on, plus barrels. And you always want to take an odd number of anything. Don't take 50, take 51. It'll give you more barrels, more stuff. And next, I'm pretty much going to spend the rest of the points that we have on extra animals. Now we're going to get two animals that are going to drag our wagon for us no matter what, so like a horse and a bull or something, but let's just take a nice little spread of animals. So we'll take a gobbler, we'll take some hens. Actually, let's just take 1 goblin, 3 hens, make it 5 hens. And there's a lot of animals in here now. There's bigger dogs. Mastiffs are bigger than regular dogs. We'll just take regular dogs. That little symbol there tells you that it's a female. If you wanted to turn on true type, by the way, you can just press F12. Which also conveniently overlays my fraps frames per second. But, so let's go through it one more time so we can get it off. But yeah, we're going to take 1 regular dog, 1 male dog. Let's take a couple females. I'm going to take a couple cats. And I do really like this booze belly goat. It allows you to get alcohol from milk. So we'll take a bunch of those, plus 1 male for breeding. And, oh, while we're at it, why don't we just take a mastiff or 2? We can breed the mastiffs so that we have more power. And we'll load up the rest with, no, not milk. Let's take some extra meat. Although we could just murder a few animals. If you've been watching my Crusader Kings 2 Let's Play, I'm just as murderous in this game. Alright, so we've got our selection, we've got everything that we need to embark. Next we're going to press capital F to name the fortress. I'm not going to put together anything fancy, I'm just going to press R until I see a random name that sounds good. Decisive Knight. Bad lanterns. Poison drinker. Alright, sure, why not? Let's go with that. And then we're going to name the group capital G. And we'll just press R again. Torch of braiding, the disemboweled keys. Holy Lances. Sure, let's go with that. And we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and press E for embark. And it's not going to give you any warnings, so be very careful about pressing that E button while you're playing. And that's how you embark. Now the game's going to start off paused, and we're not going to do any playing this episode. I really just wanted to get it into the game, and next we're going to talk about some key bindings that I like to do. Ooh, we see some metal over here. Meteorite. Meteorite, that's good. So I'm going to go through and modify some key bindings. Ooh, and gold too. So, anyway, we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon.